We're going to find out when I touch him with these knuckles. Two things are going to happen. He's either going to fold or he's going to rise to the occasion. If he rises to the occasion, it's going to be an incredible fight.
Hey there, fight fans. Joining me in the Bare Knuckle News studio tonight is the one and only Reggie Barnett Jr. How are you tonight, Reggie?
I'm great. You know, it's been another tough day of practice and training and working, but everything's going to pay off in the long run. So I'm doing good, and it's fight month, so I'm super excited.
What have you done differently, or are you doing anything differently to prepare specifically for Chop Chop?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, we have some things that we're definitely working on as far as working with some definitely advanced level boxers that I feel like are better than me as far as in the boxing aspect of things, because I'm fighting a former world boxing champion. As always, I'm innovating within the bounds of the bare knuckle fighting championships rules. So, of course, I always try to show up with some new tools and techniques to show off and display in the squared circle. And then just also, you know, I always train to be the best version of myself. And so I'm training to be an even better version of myself than I was in my previous fights.
How do you feel about fighting Chop Chop?
It's a double-edged sword. It's an honor to share the squared circle with him, with somebody who has put in that time, that work, has that kind of notoriety in combat sports. But at the same time, I felt like I have put in my work. I've earned my spot. We all know what that is. And I'm the one who has everything to lose and nothing to gain from this fight. And so my mentality as I've approached camp has been training like I have everything to lose and everything to prove, but not to anybody other than myself.
Spoken like a true champion already. Why will you have your hand raised?
One, I feel like I'm the better fighter. Two, it is my time. And three, this ain't boxing. This is bare knuckle fighting championships, and I'm an OG in this sport.
Do you respect Chop Chop as a fighter then?
Yeah, definitely, undoubtedly. I don't have any ill will or any, you know, disrespect towards him. My approach to this fight is from the gentleman's aspect, you know, two accomplished fighters getting in there and putting it all on the line for the fans. You know, he's at the end of his career. And I'm at the pinnacle, if not almost at the apex of my career. And so it's make it or break it for him and make it or break it for me. And I don't plan on folding. I don't plan on breaking.
Do you think you have the advantage because you have fought bare knuckle before, and it is so different from fighting with gloves?
No. I know just as well as I do that Chop's got some dog in him. And if he's pushed to that point, the dog is going to come out. So we're just going to see. It's going to be my bare knuckle experience versus his world and wealth of fighting experience. And we'll see who the better man is that day. I respect that wholeheartedly, completely. So when you say advantage because I have more bare knuckle fights, those two things kind of just, they nullify each other out. And that makes it an even more interesting fight.
Is this a legacy fight for you then?
Yes, definitely a legacy fight. I love, like I said, I respect the heck out of Chop Chop. But after I beat him, you know, that is a big notch on my belt and in my legacy. You look at that name on my record, and I guess since I fought a bunch of nobodies, as somebody commented, you know, it puts some validity to what I'm doing and what I've accomplished in this sport. And like I said, I have nobody to prove that to but myself. You know, they can say what they want to say and discredit my work and the things I've done, but I worked really, really hard just to be able to perform at this level, just overcoming some of the obstacles I've came in life. So just to be able to go out there and do what I love to do and have fun and show out for the fans and put on a great fight, man, I don't even care. That's what it's really about. You know, I'm a beacon of light to so many people out there in my community, people around the world that reach out to me all the time who are just inspired by what I do. And that gives me more fuel. That gives me more fire, more passion, more drive to run a couple extra miles, do a couple extra burpees, whatever it takes, because I have that extra push. And when March 19th gets here, I'm going to show that. It speaks for itself in all of my fights.
Educated hands, baby, right?
Definitely. And education has grown. We brought in another facet of hand-to-hand combat. I'm training with a great Jeet Kune Do instructor, and I'm using the JKD process. And we have some gaps that I honestly felt like I had in my own game that I knew that I had, because that's what the educated hands is about. It's about learning and growing and still being innovative in a sport that's still young, because it's still a young sport. And I've been able to fill in my own gaps. And so, like I said, a better version of myself. That's what Chop Chop is facing. I don't know what he saw in me, because out of everybody you could have picked at the 135-pound weight class, you picked me to be the guy that you wanted to think you could take their spot, that you thought you could beat. Whatever weakness or whatever you felt like you could expose in me, it's not there. I'm not the same fighter I was that I fought Johnny Bedford. I'm not the same fighter that fought Matt Murphy. I'm not the same fighter that destroyed Abdul Velasquez. It's educated hands. We continue to grow. The education is ongoing forever until I cease to exist.
I think that's why so many fans really do love and respect you so much, because one of the things is that a lot of the fight is mental, and the fact that you never take anything for granted and are such a hard worker makes you a fan favorite, right?
Yes, definitely, and I appreciate the fan support. They know, especially at a time like this, what we have going on in the world, and just being able to just deal with life, still work hard, dedicate yourself to your goals and your dreams, and manage all that. I'm a representation of that, and I like to think that it helps other people know that they can cope and they can deal and they can go out there and balance life and still chase after their dream. And that's what I'm doing. And the fans see that. They appreciate that hard work. Somebody said I was the Cinderella man of bare knuckle, and I said, yeah, kind of, sort of. I've never really been like super impoverished, only by like choice because of bad decisions. But as far as that hardworking, hard-nosed man who is just going to go out there and is just waiting for his shot, waiting for his moment, and is going to destroy anybody who gets in his way on the course of it, that's me, 100%. And so. Yeah, I will own that in some retrospects. And we were going to see how great the story is. We know what James J.J. Braddock did, when he got that shot. So,
when do you think you will get a shot at the title then?
We like to talk about it. And, of course, we know that I'm going to go get my belts. I'm going to go collect those eventually. But at the same time, we focus on the task at hand. Because if you overlook the task at hand, then it's the slightest detail that makes you falter, that causes you to slip and fall. And so I'm going to focus on the task at hand right now, which is Chop Chop Corley. And it's already written in my story that I will get my belts. It's just a matter of time. And I would rather be riding this wave than any other wave that I've been on, in my life, because some of them have been absolutely horrible. And this is great. I get to work with people that I'm networking. I'm mentoring kids. We're setting up little seminars so I can, just speak. And that was from you. You came up with that idea. You gave me that idea. So that was all you, just different things that I'm putting in the works out of this platform of fighting. So it's not, I love fighting, and that's what I'm going to do until I can't anymore. But just the birth of it's so much more, and so much positive can come out of it. And so we just want to keep being able to do that. and use my platform as a fighter. And in order to do that, I have to put my all into training. I have to put my all into the gym, and then I have to go out there and put my all into those fights, because that's what makes it matter. Everything that I talk about, every story of inspiration, all of that, it comes out and it shows in my performance, whether I lose or whether I win. As long as I go out there and leave it all in that squared circle, I've made a change. I know that I'm inspiring more people. And I'm having fun doing it. So
I would definitely agree. You're definitely an inspiration to many young fighters, and I think it's good that you're doing your platform and expanding it. By the way, speaking of expanding your platform, you got a new endorsement deal, right?
Yeah, like I said, the JKD process, Rob Doggett, it's Jeet Kune Do. And we have, like I said, my approach to this fighting thing is completely different than other fighters. And that's, I feel like, is what's going to carry me and increase my longevity in this sport. And so I'm adding and adding and adding to my tool belt. And so they came on board. He wanted to help, me grow as a fighter, but then also help me grow spiritually, in the essence of my fighting spirit. And that's what I love about his program, is that not only are they teaching you, hand-to-hand combat techniques, but he's also helping you grow as a person in different facets. And we can take those values and those morals and all that, instill it into the next generation that is training under me, that is looking up to me, who is rooting for me. And then they teach it to the next one. And so we develop this lineage of, that's not just about two people getting in there and beating the crap out of each other, but it's still almost along that line of code of honor, of old school martial arts, within the rawest form of fighting that you could possibly find, bare knuckle fighting. And I know that sounds crazy. It's like, wait a minute, you two dudes are brutally beating each other up with your bare hands, but you're telling me there's a code of honor and ethics within all of this and I'm like, absolutely right, man. It's not just this hand-to-hand thing that I'm trying to get across, it's a bigger picture. And like I said, I got to keep beating people up to do that. And I'm cool with that because I like beating people up.
Richard, we were just talking about Jeet Kune Do. Tell our viewers what that is, because it's really a major thing. It's a lifestyle. It's fighting. It's really everything, is it not?
Yeah. Jeet Kune Do involves, of course, hand-to-hand combat and fighting and martial arts. But it was also, it was originally formed by Bruce Lee from many different facets of martial arts and combat sports. And he made his own fighting style. But not only did he make his own fighting style, he made a lifestyle that is we all know the old adage, be like water, from Bruce Lee. And in so my Jeet Kune Do training, we're not only focusing on the hand-to-hand combat essence of it, but we're also focusing, I guess, on the spiritual and the nature aspect of energy, and just using that in my fighting spirit because I truly believe in fighting spirit, like 100%, and nobody can disprove my belief of fighting spirit. Finding ways to hone that and use it as a weapon and a skill just as much as I use my hands. And that goes hand to hand. That sounds crazy because it's hand to hand combat, but it really does. And like I said before, I feel like I've filled in quite a few gaps that I was lacking in my own game. And now we're going to work on just building and expanding on my growth, and in the essence of energy, spirit, and spiritual connection to my combat and my bare knuckle fighting. And everybody's like, oh, he's over here probably like talking a whole bunch of crap. Okay, we will see on March 19th. I believe in the process, and I'm going to stand by, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my boxing. I'm going to use my everything. I'm going to use everything that I know, because it's not just about, bare knuckle fighting. This is a hand-to-hand combat fight, and my approach, that is it.
I applaud you for that because you've always been very spiritual. I remember at one point I asked you, I don't remember if it was on camera or off, how do you prepare mentally for a fight? And you told me you hug a tree.
It's a little more
It's grounding.
complicated than that. It's called grounding. And I mean, you can ground a few different ways. You can truly ground, or you can, like you said, you can hug a tree. So I use both. There's so much energy in nature. We know that scientifically energy never goes anywhere. It's only transferred. It's never destroyed. So if you imagine being able to channel energy and absorb it, and in essence, and it's even like when you walk into a room full of people, anybody who can sit here and watch this interview, there's been some point in your life when you've walked into a room full of people and your energy has absorbed whatever energy was going on in that room, right? So imagine the capability to go out and truly harness whatever kind of energy you want. Because you could be around somebody and they can be pissed off, and then all of a sudden you're pissed off too, right? Or you could be pissed off and get around a group of people and everybody's having a good time and they're all, laughing, and you just come out of your funk. And so you've absorbed their positive energy, right? And so energy comes in many different forms. I'm learning to use it in all forms, not just in fighting, but in life in general. So.
Well, I can't wait to see all the good energy you're going to bring to your fight against Chop Chop. So, Reggie, you have a clothing line?
Yes. My House Sports has picked me up and has picked up the Educated Hands clothing line and the Reggie Barnett Eaze-E. And so we have an array of merchandise from sweatshirts, shirts, whole sweatsuits, masks. I mean, you can go to myhousesportsgear.com/Reggie Barnett Jr. and look and see, and get some merchandise and support. And then also 15% of all of my quarterly sales go to my local LBC. It's just something that the Educated Hands wanted to do as far as trying to support the kids in my area and make sure that they have the opportunities that I literally figuratively pissed away because we all know that I had some struggles, and I call it being on the fence. And so I feel like making available for kids to make sure they go to competitions, make sure they have uniform, all that stuff that goes hand in hand with competing in boxing will make them come down on the right side of the fence faster than I jumped over the wrong side of the fence, if that makes any sense at all. And so this is my favorite pitch, and I'm going to keep pitching it. So even if you don't like me, go buy a shirt, and if you want to, burn it. Because at the end of the day, you're still supporting the kids.
Before we go today, Reggie, is there anything else you would like to add, sir?
Thank you, as always, for having me on. I look forward to doing our interview at the event. It's going to be awesome. I think we have another gift for you too. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I better buy some T-shirts though, because I've been slacking on that. So you tell. But by the way, I want to thank your mom for helping, your momager, who I love, for helping me set up this interview. And
definitely,
you got to remind me to buy some more T-shirts then.
And just wait till you see how the rest of the year is just getting started, and the ball is just getting rolling. It's going after I get through Chop. It's just going to grow from there. And I'm going to get through him, because in order for everything in my life to work, he needs to fall. And so, but my sponsors, when we pick up there, I definitely want to give a shout out to my sponsors, Assurant Construction, Nate Price. Thank you so much for the love and support. He has continued to bless me and my camp and my team and make sure that we have everything we need to be prepared to the fullest extent. So thank you so much. Joiner Driving School, thank you for your love and support. They're paying for our rental because we flying into New Orleans and driving to Biloxi. So they made sure they took care of our rental for the weekend. Thank you so much. J&K Style Grill. Thank you for my last Fat Boy meal that I got the other day, my GA dogs. And just for your continued support. Any of my family, friends in the local area, they're going to be doing a little send-off for me. Stay tuned. We'll announce the date and whatnot. So, you know, everybody can come out. We'll do pictures and autographs and a little open workout for the public before you know, we trying to do it big, you know, so show everybody what I've been here, you know. We're not going to do no live video or nothing like that, but just my fans and my friends, you know, that we've really been out here training hard and grinding, and we're going to Mississippi to bring the noise and to you know, stuff. And it's always good just to get that little extra boost of energy and love, you know, and from a workout. Where else are we? Where are we at? Gordon Customs, thank you. Wait till y'all see my shoes. We're getting them customized. Key Creations, my headbands, my mask. These you can only get through me. So if you want an educated hands headband, hit me up, DM me. So Cryo Spa in Virginia Beach, thank you so much for, man, no, y'all don't understand how rough bare knuckle training is.
I know. And
just to have that little extra advantage when I'm just so drawn out, where I just like, man, I gotta go jump in that machine. I can't take it anymore because I cannot run another mile until I get my legs frozen. Ginger Ales, Carl, thank you so much for your support. Hopefully this year, he's still trying to work on the recipe and the mixture, but we're hoping to get some easy apple ginger ale. We just had some technical things we had to work on, but you know, the clothing line's out, so hopefully the easy apple ale will be out. My buddy Warren Damware down in Miami, anytime I go to Florida, anytime there's a fight or an event in Florida, they always make sure that I have the best, utmost care. Not only is my sponsor, Warren, great, his mom is like a second mom in Florida to me, and it's awesome, you know, just to have that kind of support from somebody who you didn't know from Adam and Eve. He's like, hey, man, he's like, I see how hard you work. I love everything that you're doing. He's like, can I support you? Here's my message. They just did a beach cleanup last week in Miami. You know, my sponsor, they did a beach cleanup. They went out and cleaned up the beach. You know, that's the kind of positive energy they went and gave bag lunches for the kids. You know, that's stuff like that. You know, that's what we're trying to make a difference in the community. So I'm grateful for everything that they do. My buddies over at Matchbout for their continued support and always looking out for me. And then it's not a sponsor, but my affiliate gym, Grindstone Athletics, Chase, Tom, y'all saw the birth of a monster after the Johnny Bedford fight, and most of that is due to them. So, Dr. Travis Lee, Dr. Lee, thank you for always making sure I got what I need if I'm injured or not. But I take pretty good care of myself, and I haven't had any injuries in a while, so I haven't really had to. We just message each other. I haven't seen him in a while because I don't need to go see the doc, and it's COVID, so they don't let you see the doc unless you need to.
All right, Reggie Barnett Jr., thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me today, and I can't wait to see you at BKFC 16.
I can't wait to see you too, Susan. So everybody out there, please make sure, if you haven't already, download that BKTV app. Going down March 19th. Your boys, co-main event. We're going to find out when I touch him with these knuckles. Two things are going to happen. He's either going to fold or he's going to rise to the occasion. If he rises to the occasion, it's going to be an incredible fight.
And we will be there bringing you all the beautiful bloody action from BKFC 16. I'm Susan Cingari. And remember, no one beats us to the punch.